Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So in this video, it's going to be week 3 of the weekly championship podcast. So I've got Jack with me as always.
Hi, you right guys?
And then we've got this week's guest on. They're from Boro Fan TV.
Are you then? You alright?
I'm alright, thank you. So in this week's edition of the podcast, we're just going to be speaking, well, not just, but we're going to be speaking about the week's fixtures, because there's been some insane ones. There's been a 5-0 from what I can see. There's been a 3-0 for your team. So we'll go from Friday night, and Derby won 5-0 against Hull. I was extremely surprised about it because coming into the game, Hull were in decent form for saying that they've just come down. Do any of you two want to speak about Derby? Well, mainly not Jack, because he's obviously a Forest fan.
Yeah, do you want me to cover the Derby one then? I was quite surprised by the result. Well, not the result, sorry, the scoreline, because Hull haven't started too bad, to be fair. I was expecting them to have a terrible season, the amount of players they've lost and stuff like that. But yeah, to get absolutely mullered 5-0 against what did look like a good Derby team as well, to be fair, I was surprised. I thought Hull were terrible. They were absolutely woeful on Friday night. But fair play to Derby. They didn't back off at one point. They really put Hull to the sword, and that's only going to help their record at home, to be fair. Because one thing I've noticed with Derby over the last couple of years, their attendances have seemed to drop a little bit from what they were a couple of years back. I think obviously mid-table mediocrity last year didn't help them, and they've always had a loyal following. I'm sure even Jack would agree with that one. So I think a good few home performances and playing some nice football as well is going to bring their fans back, and it could make Derby a force in the Championship once again, because for a few years they were always the kind of the nearly meant, so nearly promotion a couple of times under McLaren and whatnot, but never quite done it. But yeah, it's a fantastic performance. As a Boro fan, I like to see Davy Nugent have a good game as well, and he had another game up top there again. But yeah, great. Derby's certainly one of the teams to watch this year.
Yeah, I'd say that because every year since God was invented, they've been favourites to go up for some reason. So they've always had quality in the side. And I feel like because this year they're not favourites to go up, they're going to do well, because it's the exact same thing with us last year. We weren't favourites to go up for the first time since we came down, and we went up. So I feel like because they haven't got all of the pressure on the back, they're very, muchly in contention to go up. And then Hull, as you said, their squad's been rotated very heavily. Can't really see them going too far this season. If you add to all the relegated sides, it's definitely going to be you lot that's going to be most likely to go up, because you've kept a lot of the players that you had from when you came up, the likes of Ben Gibson and Daniel Ayala, but you've also signed the likes of Assombalonga. Jack, do you have anything to say about Derby winning 5-0 against Hull?
Well, I can't really say much, 5-0 against Hull. I didn't watch the game, I just heard they were shocking, but 5-0 against Hull, fair play to them, scoreline, the team that's just come down, that's embarrassing. But you have to feel sorry for Hull, they've sold a lot of their best players. Curtis Davis, I think he got a goal against Derby last night as well, against his old club. Huddleston's gone. They've lost a lot of key players, so you do have to feel sorry for them. I know they want the chairman out. They're going through a tough time, but 5-0, shocking that is for Hull.
You've always got to feel sorry for football fans at any club where they go through a situation like this. Obviously we're not big fans of Leeds United, but you feel for their fans quite a lot of the time. Sunderland are going through a similar thing now, where as fans are just not getting value for money. They're having their eyes taken out ultimately. You never see that happen to any club. But Hull City again, and the fans are just not turning up for them now. There's some games that they're closing the top tier in the main stand and things like that, because fans just don't want to go.
Yeah.
You can't blame them.
Yeah, it's just simple all around for Hull. So on to yesterday's fixtures. It is when we're recording, probably couple of days when the videos uploaded. Aston Villa versus Brentford actually finished 0-0. Very surprised about it because Brentford have been looking really good this season, but they just haven't been getting the results because we won them 1-0 on the first day, in which they really should have won, I must admit. And I don't know whether they've actually won a game this season, you know. They've just been playing really well and never really got an end result. Dean Smith as manager, he's never really, from what I know, he's never got a team up from the Championship, so it's all new to him. But Jack, do you have anything to say about Aston Villa 0-0 versus Brentford?
Yeah, both teams, you have to agree with me here. Both teams are underachieving, you know. Aston Villa, looking at their team, you know, it's just mad. The most they've spent last season was 72 million, and then they've spent a lot of money again. Brought in players like John Terry, brought in a lot of good players that should be like literally destroying this league. Anuma, Tottenham, brilliant players. Brentford as well, they should be doing a lot better. They've got a good team, you know. We beat them 4-3. You know, they do look like a team that should be doing better. But you have to admit, you have to feel sorry for them again, feeling sorry for teams. They've just sold their best 3 players to Birmingham, all 3, Jota, Dean, Colin, you know. But a 0-0 against Aston Villa is a very good point for anyone in this league, you know. So, yeah, both teams underachieving.
I think Brentford probably should have won on the balance of play as well yesterday. If it wasn't for Sam Johnson, I think Villa would have got beat yesterday.
I know.
Yeah, I noticed that as well, looking at the highlights. I guess going on to the Bolton versus Middlesbrough game, we've only got one person to talk about that. So we'll let you go ahead.
Yeah, well, to be fair, it was a very, very, very easy game for us yesterday. It was a game where we really didn't get out of second gear. We had so much more to give, but just Bolton were giving us nothing. Easily the poorest team I've seen us play this season. I know we're only 6 games in, but they're a really, really poor team. They offered us absolutely nothing, and we found it so easy attacking against them. Was it the few changes made at the team as well? Gary Monk made a few changes to the lineup system, everything to be fair. So we went back to what was Karanka's trusted system in a 4-2-3-1, and Grant Leadbitter was back in the team to his first start of the league season for us. I know he started against Scunthorpe in the Cup, and he absolutely dictated play for us. And there's one player who I've always been a huge critic of, but absolutely destroyed the team yesterday, was Adama Traore. The 2 assists he got yesterday for Britt Sombolonga's goals were absolutely superb, and he had no right to do what he did, but he done it fantastically. And if you watch a slow-mo replay on our second goal in particular, the composure Adama Traore is shown in regards to always getting his head up and looking up to where Sombolonga was. He's never had that before. He's always had this kind of headless chicken way about his game, but he was absolutely brilliant. And it was a debut goal for Marvin Johnson as well, our new signing from Oxford United. So yeah, it was that was a bit of a lucky goal, really. It was but no, it was nice to see him come on and do something. He thought, no, nice last 20 minutes, shows what you're about. Nice direct player, something a little bit different what we've got. Like to Stuart Downing come back in the team yesterday as well. It was nice to see him put in a good performance. So a lot of even though we've had a fantastic transfer window, a lot of our fans were kind of up in arms in regards to we bought no wingers, but we looked all right yesterday.
Yeah, I'd say that Adama Traore, I think it was the first assist he got. The fact that he just kept on going for the ball, it's the sort of performance that makes you think that he's a player that really does want to get you up. And the performance and, the highlights that I saw, it was just one of them games where when you look back at the end of the season, when you lot have probably gone up, you'll just think, this is why we've gone up. Jack, have you got anything to add on to the game?
Middlesbrough should be going up the season. Their team is unreal. They've still got players on the bench like Ashley Fletcher, who's not even getting on the pitch. That's just insane. He'd walk into probably most championship teams, but he's not even getting on it. Did he even get on the pitch? I'm not sure. Did he get on the pitch?
Yeah, he came on yesterday and nearly got an assist. He played a Sombolonga through. Nice, clever player, Ashley Fletcher. His time will come. His time will come for Boro. You guys know more than anyone, Jack, that Sombolonga does have the tendency to get injured. So if he does, Ashley Fletcher's more than an able deputy for him for that as well, and Patrick Bamford also. So yeah, like you say, our squad's absolutely insane. When you look at it on paper, it's fantastic, and we should really be going up with that one. But the thing we just mentioned there, look at Aston Villa. No, that squad
Yeah.
last year, how that didn't get promoted, God knows, and the fact of how poorly they started this year. I mean, if I could compare our squad to Aston Villa's, I'd say Aston Villa had a better one, but we're playing better.
Yeah. You know,
That's
Bolton.
sorry, carry on.
Sorry, Bolton are the only team. Well, I was three. I think you guys are the only team that played Bolton. Do you see them like doing much? Do you see them like staying up? Because I really don't. I see them getting bottom. You know, what do you think?
Yeah.
I'd like to see them stay up, Bolton personally, because it's a nice club, good family club. It's always a good away day, and again, their fans have been through a bit of a tough time as well. I think they need to kind of tap at that team spirit that got them promoted last year, because they shouldn't have got promoted last year on paper. They really shouldn't have done, but they did, and that was mainly due to Phil Parkinson. But it's a long, hard season this, and I think Bolton have enough to get out of it, but it's a tough league as well. I think they need to get a couple of wins under the belt very soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say that Bolton, if, as you said, they're probably the team that are going to go down, but nobody really, wants them to.
Yeah.
So moving on to the next match, Fulham versus Cardiff. The two teams that I would say are definitely going to be up there. After this week's fixtures anyway, the two teams that have played each other. It was 1-1, and on paper, looking at the two teams, it seems to have been a fair result. I'm not actually sure of the stats, so I'll just take a quick look right now. But have any of you two got anything to say about the match?
Cardiff and Fulham. I think that was a very good scoreline for two teams that should be going up this season. Well, maybe not Cardiff, they're classed as dark horses. Fulham should be going up. It's a good point. Probably a better point for Fulham than it is for Cardiff. Cardiff, that's their first, they've won every game. That's their first draw for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, good point for both teams. I don't think both teams can argue. Any of the teams can argue. I think I don't know if it was any team was dominant. I just know that it's a good point, and I think Cardiff fans and Fulham fans will be very happy with that. Cardiff and Fulham could go up, especially Cardiff. In my opinion, I don't think Fulham could go up. They should be going up with the team they've got and the manager they have, style of football they play, but I don't think they'll go up. Cardiff could definitely be going up this season. Brilliant start. They got Zahore up front. I think that's his name. What a striker he is. Probably one of the best strikers in this league. Very, very good squad. Definitely the dark horse.
Yeah, I mean, I'd agree on the Cardiff thing. I think the telling thing with Cardiff City as well is Neil Warnock's had most of last season. Now he's had a full pre-season with that team as well, and you can never underestimate the power of Neil Warnock, and you'll know that yourself. So in regards to his power in regards to promotions, so he's got something about him. Some people think he might be a bit too old for it now, but once you know, I guess. You say they've got a great squad of players there. They're a very well balanced team as well. I am expecting Fulham again to be up there in the playoff positions as well. Jokanovic plays some fantastic football, and like they done last season, I think it's a question of them getting a run of results at the right time. As soon as they do, they're going to be really, really hard to beat.
Yeah. Coming on to Fulham, I know we discussed this a bit last week, Jack, but I just don't understand how you didn't think we were going to go, to be honest, because Jokanovic as manager, he's done it before with Watford. I'm not sure whether he's done it with anyone else, but
No, he hasn't.
He's done it with not done it. He's got great players in his team. He's got pace with the likes of Ayite. He's got goal scoring prowess in the team as well. So I can't really see a reason why they couldn't get top six. Is there any pinpointed reasons as to why you think that they won't go up, Jack?
No, there's not. I don't know if I'm having a guess here. I don't know if I'm crazy. I probably am to you guys, but I just can't see them going up. Their team is very good, but yeah, they could get playoffs at most, in my opinion. I don't think they'll be pushing for automatics. I don't know what it is. I just don't see them going up. I feel like they'll get mid-table. I'm sorry if any Fulham fans are watching. I just don't think they'll do as well as last season. I think last season, obviously, they deserved to do how they did. They probably should have beat Reading in the playoffs, but they did well to get where they were. I just don't see them doing it again. Like Sheffield Wednesday, I don't see Sheffield Wednesday, even after playing them, I don't see them doing what they did last season. I don't see Fulham doing the same either.
Yeah, I suppose an opinion is opinion. Football is football, and I guess we'll move on to the next game now. It was Leeds United beating Burton 5-0. Now, Leeds have got off to a great start. The new manager that they've got, I forgot his name now, but he's apparently in his application, he literally went through all of the games that they lost last season and said how he's going to improve on them, which, if you want a job, I suppose that's one way to get one in football management. But Burton, I said, if they do go down, and the season that they do go down, it will be, like Rotherham did, just absolutely flop. And at this rate, it looks like they're going to do it, because I think we've only got one win on the board. It was against Birmingham, which is a very poor side. So, do any of you two want to speak about Leeds thrashing Burton?
Leeds United have started this season fantastically, haven't they? And they're playing some lovely football. And I was hoping, obviously with us getting Gary Monk now, I was hoping we were going to tap a couple of their players to come our place, in particular Pablo Hernandez, because I'm a huge fan of his. I liked him at Swansea, I've liked him at Leeds United, but yeah, they're playing some brilliant football. The fans are loving what they're doing at the moment there, and the table doesn't lie. They deserve to be where they are. Can that carry on for the rest of the season? But no, what again, it's what good teams do when they do see a poor team come at their ground, similar as what Derby County done. Put them to the sword, knock 5 past them. Fans enjoy the rest of the weekend, and that means everyone else who goes to Leeds United, who follow them, they're going to be scared of them.
Definitely. Have you got it to add, Jack?
We played Leeds, and I couldn't praise them enough. Their team is unreal. You can class them. I don't know if you can class them as dark horses. I know last season they were very unlucky not getting in the playoffs. But I thought they were going to get mid-table. I didn't think they were going to do anywhere near as well as last season. But they've proven me wrong. They've done very well. And as you said, Jimmy, the table doesn't lie. Definitely, probably could get automatics. I know I might be over-exaggerating, but I think they could definitely get there.
Yeah, it's very likely, because they've made some insane signs. They've got rid of Chris Wood, and they brought in that Lasogga from Hamburg, I think it was. He's already got 2 goals in the Championship in a game. They've also brought in that Alioski, fan favourite already from what I've heard. So it looks like Leeds are on the rise, and to be honest, they do belong in the Premier League. As much as some fans don't want them there, they do belong there after the history. So we'll go on to the next game, which is Norwich versus Birmingham, in which Norwich won 1-0. It's a much needed win, in my opinion, because they haven't really been in the greatest of form this season. 41 players going in and out, Germans coming in everywhere, and they've just had a complete rebuild. So, I'm quite happy for them. Harry Redknapp at Birmingham, on the other hand, in my opinion, is too old now, and if I was a player playing for him, I just wouldn't really have the passion for it, because he just seems to have been everywhere, or unless I think you said this, Jack, or unless he's literally got a team built for him, he's not a good manager. So after saying that, I guess I'll let you speak about Birmingham and Norwich, Jack.
I was really wanting Birmingham to lose yesterday. As you know, they spent mad amounts of money, and teams like that, I always want them to do bad. Teams that probably had a bad team before they spent the money, I've always wanted them to fail, whoever it is, maybe not like Forest, obviously, but Birmingham, I'm very happy they lost. Their team still doesn't look unreal. On paper, it looks like a very good team, but against Norwich, they did struggle, and Norwich have struggled, losing 4-0 against Millwall just before the international break, that is bad, but then getting a brilliant win, 1-0 against Birmingham, very good win, Birmingham are a good side, I have to admit, Birmingham are. And Norwich, Daniel Farker did look like a bad manager in my opinion when he came in. This win could be the start, could be like the new start to the season. They have to forget everything, and this could be Kickstarter. Could do very well after this.
It's a funny one with Norwich, because I work with a Norwich City fan actually, and they've gone for exactly the same thing as what Huddersfield Town have done. So they obviously recruited Huddersfield Town, sent a recruitment and football director. Who has then went and done everything he'd done before. So he brought in a German manager who was at Dortmund, again, similar to Wagner. And then they went and signed a lot of German players on the fringe and trying to go for something a little bit different. Now, just because it worked with Huddersfield, it means it's going to work with Norwich City. They certainly haven't had a fantastic start so far. So the time will tell with them ones. I'll give you my opinions on Birmingham City. For anyone who knows me, knows I do not like Harry Redknapp in the slightest. Yeah. He is everything I despise about football coaching. Now, obviously, I'm older than you guys, but I remember there was a football game we used to play all the time with Championship Manager 2001-2002, which all you had to do in that game was just sign player after player after player, and you'd have yourself a good squad. That's all Harry Redknapp does. Look at the incomings Birmingham City. You've had a stupid amount of footballers. How can you make all them players happy and also build on what he's got already? You just can't do it. He's not the right type of person to have a Championship squad, and he'll get found out. He'll end up spending loads of money that Birmingham City can't afford. They won't perform. He'll magically get a bad knee again, and then he'll leave them in an absolute disarray, as he done with QPR, as he done with Southampton, as he done with Portsmouth. I don't get the Harry Redknapp thing. I never will get the Harry Redknapp thing, and time will tell with Birmingham City, and they will end up struggling because of it.
Yeah, I feel like Harry Redknapp's just a very mardy person. As soon as he don't get what he wants, he's out.
Yeah.
Whether it's because of a knee or just because he's getting really mardy. So before Harry Redknapp gets too slated badly, if that doesn't make sense. But I guess we'll move on to the next game. Preston North End versus Barnsley. It ended 1-1. You look at this fixture and it has a score draw written all over it. Two teams that, for the last season, those in mid-table. Preston have got Alex Neil, which, I know a Norwich fan, and he said that Alex Neil was a terrible manager for them, other than the season that he got them up. But it's really solidified Preston from what I know. I don't know how, to be honest. He must have just matured as a manager, I guess. In Barnsley, they've lost literally all of their main players. They lost Alfie Mawson, which has gone under the radar, actually, since it was last season. Horahan, I think we've lost a striker as well, but I can't really think of who it was on the top of my head. And, this fixture just had 1-1 drawn all over it. So, any of you two have anything to say about it?
Well, I'll touch on the Preston thing, because we played Preston just before the international break at Riverside as well. They absolutely played us off the park. I've been used to, as a Middlesbrough fan, for the last few seasons of teams sitting back and just absorbing pressure, not really challenging us. But Preston were absolutely superb against us, played some lovely football. And we talk about dark horses. I think Preston definitely are one for the playoffs this year. They play some nice stuff. I think you're absolutely right in regards to Alex Neil potentially maturing as a manager and looking for something a bit more of a plan B, just to pardon the football cliche there. But yeah, that's I fully expected Preston to beat Barnsley. I did back them in my accumulator yesterday as well, so I was surprised by that result. But I think Preston, if they can just get a little bit more clinical in front of goal, will be a real team to watch out for this season. And Barnsley, like you said, lost quite a lot of players, but they've got a good team spirit there, and I fancy Barnsley to stay in the league again this year. It'd be nice to see them. I'll let you see as many northern teams as high in the leagues as possible. More Yorkshire teams get in the Premier League and whatnot. It's good. It's football's a northern game in my opinion. So yeah, 1-1 draw. Not a great game from the highlights I've seen, but yeah, I hopefully both teams can improve on that.
Definitely. You have anything to add, Jack, or do you want to move on to the next match?
QPR getting a 2-1 win against Ipswich. That's a very good result, because Ipswich, in my opinion, are actually quite a good team, I can't see them getting as bad as they did last season. I can see them probably around 10th or 11th. I think that'd be a very, very good season for Ipswich. Obviously they're not going to do very well under Marcus Evans. Shocking chairman, very bad chairman. You have to feel sorry for them because he's not letting them spend money. I think the most they've spent was about £1 million. And that's really good for how well they're doing so far. That's really good. So I can see them doing actually quite well this season. So very well. QPR have had a decent start too. I don't know how long it will last, but I can see Ipswich doing well for quite a while. I don't know how long QPR will last because I don't rate Ian Holloway as a manager one bit. I don't think he's a very good manager, especially in the Championship. I think he's good for League One side. I don't see him doing very well.
Yeah, definitely. Ipswich, they started off the season really well, and flopped, I guess. I don't like McCarthy as a person. He seems really arrogant.
Yeah.
So I suppose that's the one reason why it's good that he's not allowed to spend money, because I don't like the manager, McCarthy. Queen's Park Rangers, I don't know. I don't think Holloway's really had a job since he left Blackpool. If any of you guys can correct me on that, it'd be nice. But
he's had a couple. Yeah.
All right,
but
yeah, I'm gonna say ever since his Blackpool days, he's never really done anything. It was just seemed to have been like a bit of a one season wonder, I guess, for him. And the result of a match 2-1 doesn't surprise me really, because it was two teams that could have won the game, but because QPR at home at Loftus Road, they must have had the home advantage. Do you have anything to say about them before we move on?
Not from me.
Right, we'll move on then. So, Reading 0, Bristol City 1. So, Bristol City always seem to start the season well. They haven't started as well as they did in previous years, but, they always seem to have a couple of good players. They've had the likes of Bobby Reid start all this year, and Reading, I reckon that last year was a blimp, because Yapstam, he's not really got any experience. It seems as though he's been found out, and the signs that they've made aren't great. I saw that Bodvarsson that they signed from Wolves, he missed an absolute sitter. So I don't really see what Reading have done to improve on last season. And the teams that have come down, Hull are probably better than them now. Obviously Boro are, Sunderland probably a bit worse, but they've got much more competition this year since last year. So I guess I'll let you speak about the match first, Jack.
Reading, Bristol City, bit of a boring match in my opinion.
Yeah.
Bristol City and Reading, two teams that can't really even do enough, if you give me Reading, definitely, as you said, last season was just, how did they get where they were, how did they get to Wembley? I would never know. Definitely overachieved. Yapstam, I think he's been found out. I never thought he was going to do as well as he did last season. I think this season he will get found out. And I wish he didn't sign that contract, because I don't think they're going to do very well. Bristol getting a good win. I don't know about Bristol, I don't really rate them that much. I don't know who's much about Bristol City. I know a few of their players, but a win against Reading, it's actually.
So then, guys, we'll just finish that Reading game. The mic keeps cut off, by the way, in case it seems a bit weird. It's the Skype call doesn't like my Mac. So into the Sunderland game, which we have won 2-1. Sunderland simply don't have a winning mentality. They have quite the losing mentality after being in the Premier League, only just for 3 or 4 years, and then just coming down. We've had a winning mentality for quite a while now. Because the season that we finished 11th, we still every game wanted to win. So I feel like that's a massive factor in why we're up in 5th as well. I think it might be 4th actually now. It'll be one of them. Sunderland, a couple of their fans are already calling for Grayson's head. I feel like that is ludicrous, simply because he's managed to keep Preston up in what were, pretty tight conditions, because he didn't really have many funds. And he knows how to get a team up the leagues. He's got a couple of teams up from League One. I think he got Blackpool up. He's got Preston, obviously. And in the Championship, getting promotion with a team's new to him. But I feel like if he can get Sunderland a winning mentality, it won't be long until they do better. But I've spoken about Sunderland, but obviously my team, Sheffield United, we've signed some great players. We've signed Clayton Donaldson. He grabbed us a brace, and obviously the winner on the weekend. And we've got a team playing team. We don't have any key individuals. Obviously we have a couple that are better than others, but we play as a team. We're all passionate, and we're not like Sunderland signing players like that and Dong and a bunch of players that don't really know the Championship well, and need to get used to it.
Yeah, you did very well against Sunderland. They've, as Jimmy said earlier in the podcast, their chairman, if they had a bit of money and they could, I think they're under financial fair play, if they had a bit of money and had no troubles, I could definitely see them going up, Last year they had a decent team, a team that would do alright in the Championship, that would probably go up with Jermaine Defoe, Jan Kirchhoff, not how to say that, but yeah, definitely underachieving. But yeah, you guys, I didn't really know about you. I didn't really know how you were going to do. I was a bit unsure. A lot of people were predicting you 13th, and I was thinking a bit lower. But I can definitely see you guys getting not very well, because your team, you can build on for next season. So you never know, promotion next season. You never know. Very good squad you have.
This season, Jack, not next season.
I want to touch on you guys. when you came to the Riverside, I thought you were very unlucky not to come away with at least a point. To be honest, obviously it was that goal right at the end.
I still haven't got over that.
Yeah, I bet you haven't. We were very poor against you guys. We really were. And if you'd have had Clayton Donaldson, which is a centre forward in the Championship, I'm a huge fan of. I do think you'd have got something from that game. I really do, because I think Billy Sharp, maybe he isn't a Championship centre forward now. Because if he still was, he'd have scored against us. Because his whole career was based on scoring against Middlesbrough Football Club. He's always banged in a few goals, no matter where he was at. Even when he was poor at Leeds United, he still scored against us. So, yeah, I think that the sign of Clayton Donaldson, it will be a telling sign for you guys. And that'll be the question of you guys being the top half of the league. I really do. It's a good club, Sheffield United. It's, again, a good Yorkshire club. Good support, always plenty through the gate. And it's one of those teams when, you look at your likes of the Bournemouth being in the Premier League, and you think, look, the type of, the amount of fans out of Sheffield United or Sheffield Wednesday, Nottingham Forest, Derby County, Middlesbrough can take into the ground every week. It kind of winds you up a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. You touched on Billy Sharp saying that he's not a Championship striker. I sort of agree with you in some ways, but I don't, because he's already got 4 goals this season for us. Yeah. Fair enough, a couple of them were absolute sitters and they didn't require much work. But in the Championship, if you can get goals, you're a Championship striker. And if the ball comes to him anywhere in the box, it's almost definitely going to be on target, if not in the back of the net. So I feel like, in terms of his physicality, he might not be a Championship striker anymore. But if you want goals, he definitely still is.
He'll score your goals against poor teams, he will do. But if he comes up against, obviously against our defence, you have Ben Gibson and Dale Fry.
Totally agree,
Yeah, Ben Gibson's been called up the English squad a couple of times. Dale Fry just made his debut for the under-21 for England. So it's 2 top-quality centre-halves. He got found out playing against Sunderland, who are an absolutely terrible team. And again, it's another club where we can touch on where the fans have been taken for a ride for a long time now. But to call for Simon Grayson's head, the thing that's happened, he's up with Sunderland Football Club, is not Simon Grayson's fault. It's not the fans' fault. It's probably not even the players that are theirs fault. It's completely down with the chairman, and the lack of ambition you get from the owners of the club feeds down to the players, and the players don't want to be there. And if you don't want to be at a football club, and that football club is going to be doing nothing, why do you want to be there? Why are you going to pull your pullings out every Saturday just to do that? You're just not going to. You're really not. Which is why you'll see players who'll, oh, well, do you know what? I'd rather go to Sheffield United, I'd rather go to Nottingham Forest, or I'd go to Middlesbrough. Teams are on the up and they want to do something, and you're paying for a proper chairman.
Yeah, as you said with Sunderland, I've heard that their chairman literally gave Grayson $1.25 million to rebuild the squad, and that's ludicrous, honestly. The chairman, he needs to sell up, get a chairman that wants the club to do well and get back into the Premier League. So
Sunderland should be a massive club. Sunderland should be an absolutely huge club. Huge catchment area. When Sunderland are doing well, that stadium's full, and there's just short of 50,000 in that stadium. They're just up the road from us. And as a Middlesbrough fan, we're not supposed to say this, but Sunderland are a bigger club than what we are. They've got a much bigger pull as an actual football club, but they just haven't done it recently, and that's all come from the top, and it's a shame to see that happen.
Definitely. Have you got it to add, Jack? Because
you want to talk about Billy Sharp. You know how you were saying he will get found out against that Ben Gibson, big defenders. Yeah. I totally agree with you. I've watched him a few times. He's beaten Barnsley's defence. That's not exactly hard. She's got Sheffield United. They've got a brilliant midfield. Fleck. A lot of good players in that midfield who are setting him up. But I can just imagine him going missing. Did he go missing against you, against Middlesbrough? Did he?
He was non-existent. Yeah. He was absolutely non-existent. Which, when I was walking to that stadium on that Saturday, it was a tea-time kick-off, wasn't it? When I was walking to that stadium, I was thinking, right, okay, what minute's Billy Sharp scoring?
Well, it didn't really get involved much, if I'm honest.
No, I saw nothing of Billy Sharp on that day. I really didn't. But I'd like you said, the way you were playing, if you'd had Clayton Donaldson, you'd have easily grabbed at least 1 goal against us that day.
So the next game, it's Wolves versus Millwall, in which Wolves won by a small 1-0. In terms of the quality sizes in teams, the money spent on the teams, Wolves really should have won this by 3 or 4. And I watched one of the YouTubers, the old Gold and Black. He said that Wolves really weren't on the day, and if Millwall maybe just had a clinical striker at Championship level, they would have won. Got a goal or 2, and maybe even got a draw or a win. So I'll let you talk about these, Jack, because I know that you've played Millwall. Just tell us, if it was fair or not.
Millwall are actually a very good side, Obviously, they beat, Norwich 4-0. That's an amazing result. I don't even think any team would do that in this league. Massive struggle to beat Norwich by 3 or more goals. You know what I mean? Maybe 2 more goals, because they're a very good team, Norwich are, when they get playing. But Millwall, in my opinion, I think they're going to be a team that are going to go to places and dominate like they did against Forest, but going to get nothing from it. I can see them being brilliant on the possession-wise and everything like that. I just don't see them that final touch. And yeah, you said they need a striker. Yeah, Morrison and Gregory are good strikers. But can they score you 20 goals a season? You know what I mean? Can they get you goals? And I think Millwall need that player who's going to keep them up, and I don't see them having that. But they played very good football. When they played against Forest, they dominated us. We did not deserve to win. They missed open goals. So Millwall, I do kind of think they'll go down looking on it now. But obviously, the wrong way to go. You never know. But I think they'll be a team that will do very well. Like Bolton don't perform very well, I've heard. I think these will perform every week in, week out. They'll give it their 100% best, but I just don't see them getting the results.
Yeah, I'll carry on then. So if you ask me, they're the only one of the only southern sides that you can really say are a footballing side who have passion in the game, because you look at London and a lot of South, I'd say, a lot of their clubs are, just money makers. The likes of QPR used to be as well. They've turned into a bit more of a regular Championship club, but Millwall, as you say, you've got to feel sorry for them. They've been playing magnificently. We haven't played them yet, luckily, but when we do come up against them, after hearing from a couple of fans, including you, Jack, saying how good Millwall actually are, I'm not going to be thinking it's going to be a turnover, because they ended the season in an amazing run of form, getting up through the playoffs, and the form's carried through. Fair enough that they haven't been getting the results, but the players have been playing like they were last season. The only thing different between us and them is that we've been getting the results. They've probably been playing just as well as us. So it won't surprise me if Millwall, are comfortable this season in the mid-table. If we can just start stringing a few results together, and the strikers start scoring. Because Morrison, we all know that he's experienced at this level and he can score. He's been at Leeds and Norwich, I know, but it's just about him, I guess, getting that one goal to get him started.
Yeah, I think so. Millwall are going to be one of those teams. I think they'll have just enough to keep up, based on home form generally. Wolves is a tough place to go. We found that out, and I think a lot of teams are going to find that out. Wolves are certainly going to be one of those teams that are going to be up there, and I think this season they are the biggest net spenders in regards to transfer money out compared to transfer money in, and they're going to be up there and they sound very well, and they're going to be hard to beat. And Millwall probably went there to try and get a point, and they couldn't. They didn't have much going forward after that, but I think we had a different result as soon as they go to the Den, because that is going to be a tough place to go all season.
Definitely. So we'll move on to the last game of this weekend, which was Sheffield Wednesday winning Nottingham Forest. So Jack, we'll let you speak about this game.
Yeah, Sheffield Wednesday beating us 3-1. Very disappointing performance from ourselves, Sheffield Wednesday didn't look like, well, from where I was sitting, they didn't look like an amazing team as well. None of their goals were well worked, Their first goal was our mistake, Smith playing stupid ball, Jack Hobbs did put him under a bit of pressure, playing it back so quick. Smith playing a stupid ball, it's just disappointing. The game could have been totally different if Smith didn't kick that ball like that. We could have won it. You never know what would have happened. But yeah, quite disappointing. Sheffield Wednesday, I can't really praise them that much because they weren't amazing. I can definitely see them going to places this season and being quite good, getting results, and especially I think they'll make Hillsborough a fortress as they've always done. But yeah, very disappointing from Forest. Bridgecourt was probably my man of the match. With signing for Leeds 1 million. He plays a very style of football that Wolverhampton wants, but it definitely works. With Bridgecourt, he does make us a bit calmer. I think when we get Vaughan back, who's a very good player, 35 years old, what a legend he is. When we get Vaughan back in the midfield, him and Bridgecourt will be an absolute solid pairing. Zach Clough coming off in the first half because he's too weak. Zach Clough, I don't get how good he was for both, and then he comes to Forest and he's not very good. He's probably he shouldn't even get into our bench. You know, he's not a very good player. I can definitely support him resigning him, and him going off in the first 30 minutes, I think it was, in the first half without being injured because he played rubbish. You know, that's very disappointing and very embarrassing for himself.
Yeah, the thing is with you, like I feel like with Warburton, it's a couple, 2 or 3 year project that you've got going there, because at Brentford we all saw it. Even though it was his first season in the Championship with them, he'd still had a season before that in League One just to build with them, and I feel like once he's got, at least 3/4 of the starting lineup of his players, I feel like that's when you'll really see him come into effect, because he signed Murphy up front, a 20 goal a season man for the Championship, and he's just signed a bunch of players that are really good. And from his former side Rangers, he's signed McKay, insane signing, 500k as well. McKay 500k, that sounds kind of cool. But have you got anything to add about the match?
For Forest, I think obviously that wasn't a great game for you guys, but I think one of the dark horses for promotion this season, Nottingham Forest, as you just touched on there, Toby, some very astute signs, and I was talking to Jack before, and I think Billy Mackay for £500,000 is a fantastic sign, and he made us look ordinary, and he turned Ben Gibson, George Friend, and Dale Fry inside out a couple of times when we played Forest. Sheffield Wednesday, I know you won't be a big fan of them, but they should be doing better than what they are, to be honest. They've spent a lot of money over the last few years and became the Derby County of the last 2 seasons, haven't they, in regard to being nearly men. But I expected better from Forest on it yesterday. Jack, I don't know about you.
Yeah, so did I. Very disappointing. But you have to admit, Sheffield Wednesday probably did deserve the win. We didn't look like scoring another goal after Stephen Fletcher got his second. Got the second goal of the game. We didn't look like coming back. We just played our boring football that Wolverton wants to play, passing it around the back. And being honest, I don't know how long it will take Wolverton to adapt with Forest, but I'm not feeling too confident. We've got Sunderland on Tuesday. I don't know if I should feel confident or not, because Sunderland are a very strange team. 1 week they'll be up for it, and then the next week they'll do like what they did against Sheffield United. Yeah, I know Sheffield United are a good team, but they'll lose to teams like, that aren't, they should be beaten. You have to admit they should be beating Sheffield United, Toby. You know what I mean? They should be doing better. They should be doing better, but I just hope we can get the 3 points. I'll probably take a point at 1-1 or something like that, but I want the 3 points. We need to get the 3 points to just have a new start. Two losses against Leeds and Sheffield Wednesday, very good side, and Sunderland are a good side as well. So it's going to be a very tough fixture.
Definitely. I'm quite surprised that you're not convinced by Warburton, because he's obviously, I think he got Brentford into the playoffs actually, and you guys beat them, didn't you?
Yeah, we beat them in the final. We beat them 4 times that season, but which was pretty decent. But Mark Warburton was superb. The football they were playing, and he had because they just got promoted that year, remember? And he had what was probably a poor team on paper, playing some fantastic football, and he done well at Rangers. And I have a big soft spot for Rangers, so I watch a lot of Rangers matches, and played some lovely football at Rangers. Got promoted in his first year, beat Celtic in the semi-final of the League Cup in that year as well. But I've been watching Mark Warburton for Rangers, and what he'd done there, he instilled the philosophy of playing football, and Rangers never had that for a long time. Rangers' more successful time in recent years was under Walter Smith, which was park the bus and see what we can get on the break. But played some nice football under Mark Warburton there. Beat Celtic in the semi-final of the Scottish League Cup, which was a huge thing, considering they were in the Championship. It didn't work out once they got promoted. Signing players like Joey Barton certainly didn't help the cause as well. And I think now he's on down with Nottingham Forest. He'll hopefully got a club that will give him the time and resources to do something. I think he hasn't spent a lot, but he's spent wisely. And recouping a good £15 million for British Sombalonga is a good deal for you guys and us as well. So it's I think he'll do well for Nottingham Forest. I really do. I hope he does, because being from Middlesbrough, and one of the biggest heroes to come from Middlesbrough is Mr. Brian Clough, and so we always have a soft spot for Nottingham Forest. Yeah. There was a bit of a rivalry on Twitter because we signed your best player.
Yeah.
But, that was a bit of a full rivalry. I think all Middlesbrough fans love Nottingham Forest. It's a good club. It's a good proper club. And yeah, I'd like to see someone like Mark Warburton do well there because he's a good football man.
I don't know about the style of football. I don't know how he did it at Brentford. I don't know how he played, but sometimes I do enjoy watching his football. Sometimes I don't. As you saw when Jordan Smith, our goalkeeper, had to kick was under pressure. You know, that's little short passing. Short passing. It's putting too much pressure. Smith's only 21. You know what I mean? This is his first season in professional football. We've got no one else in goal. You know, we just signed Federici, but I don't like his style of football most of the time. It's very nerve-wracking. We've got a young squad, and also we've got a very small squad. And this league's very physical, you know. And we've got a lot of players that we're losing a lot of set pieces. You know, corners we're conceding. I think we've conceded the most corners in Football League. I've read something that we've conceded the most this season. I don't know if it's in the Championship or the Football League. I'm not sure if it's Football League or Championship. You know, that's just shocking. I think the defence, you know, it's not good enough. The midfield, we need a solid midfielder. Brodcut and Vaughan, yeah, brilliant partnership, very good partnership. But we needed a big, solid player. You know, like Adam Clayton would have been. Obviously, we're not going to get him, but a player like him would have been brilliant for us.
Yeah. So, because you just said that you guys aren't the best at defending corners, I am just going to go ahead and predict that Jack O'Connell is going to score a header from you from a corner. I will play you on the 30th.
I'm not.
I'm hoping that we can get the winner. Is it at your place?
Yeah, my place. Yeah.
Alright, okay. I'll have to try and get a ticket, but I don't think I will. I might have to try and sneak into your end, but don't tell anyone. Yeah. So thank you to both of you for coming onto the podcast.
Yeah, every week, so it's normal for me.
Definitely.
No problem. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thank you for coming on. It's been a pleasure. So make sure to come back next week for the week 4. It will be of a podcast. It's gone quite quick. I know it's only week 3, but starting we've got quite a decent audience from it so far. So I'll see you next week, Jack. So like, subscribe, enjoy the rest of your day, and peace.